Good morning, ladies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Moo Moo was in My Hero Academia? Not Momo, it's Moo Moo. MOO space MO. So, in this What If, you've probably seen like a lot of these videos that I make where he has the he was born as a cow that is the size of a soda can. And yeah, basically he does all these things like his cowboy mother, like her cow lady, should I say, gave birth to him and his sister. And yeah, she decides to get rid of him, like gave him away or abandon him. And she takes him in to the farm, and she noticed that he's not a normal cow. But she doesn't care, as he learned how to speak like a human language. So yeah. So when he was at age of 4, he did get his quirk tested before. And yeah, his quirk is unlimited. It's basically like infinity, but so yeah. So he basically can use all the things in his both forms. So yeah. So then 15, he learned how to control his different forms. Like he went to, or he went from, yeah, he goes from little cow to a kid. Yeah. So then he was at 15. He goes to UA. He ends up meeting his sister, but they didn't recognize each other, so sorry about that. I had to take a cough. So yeah. So yeah. As he transforms into, or like when during the robots thing, he was very intelligent, so he was done in about 0.1 seconds. That's faster than anyone. Yeah. as he takes a snooze. Uh, uh. So yeah, it looks so peaceful when, of course, his after she was done, un, she ends up instantly looking at him. As he, yeah. But during the robots thing, he basically he did the same thing what the cow lady does, as she's like impressed that someone uses the animal quirk. As he starts, then he transforms into more. So, as he basically shapeshifts again into monstrous minotaur, and he literally destroyed 1-pointers, 2-pointers, 3-pointers. Yeah. He basically was like he broke a world record. As he becomes more human, as he says, that was fun. Can't wait. As the 0-pointer came, as he runs up to, or like he literally ran, it looked like they were so synchronized, as, yeah, he literally chucked the 0-pointer all the way to the upper atmosphere. When it exploded, yeah, as he says, huh, that was fun. Didn't get any points for that, but that's okay. So, yeah, that's what's going on. So, yeah, then so the next day, or like couple days, she ends up meeting him again. Or actually, after the quirks, her registration thing, she tells her mom that there's some competitive quirks. Uh, huh. Like, so, what? Well, I saw one person that had, like, the same quirk as you. Hmm. Nice. See. Of course, the as he like basically when they meet again, she tells him that as she added, with or without a quirk. Huh. Well, oh, well, my quirk is limiter. Limiter is actually, and my as that caught her off guard of it. So I those cow ability or the you transformed into a cows. That's usually it's a quirk. Hmm. No, no. My mother told me that I have this rare gift called abilities, like attributes. And as he's so kind-hearted that she almost like faded when she talked to her own brother. As he walks away, he's in class 1A with Zuko, Zumi. Yeah, I forgot to mention. I'm adding Zumi to it so that the Zuko doesn't have to be like by himself. So yeah, and then Todoroki, everyone. So yeah, the basically when everyone was got to their class and did all that stuff, that USJ the portal opens up, or after they arrived, the portal opens up. And Nomus and the villains, they weren't just low tier villains, they were like broken ones, should I say? Because they are just very high end villains. Like, yeah. And yeah, they, as Mr. Aizawa tells 13 to protect the students at all costs. And he tells him that in his he doesn't want to see his favorite teacher get like killed. As he walks up to Mr. Aizawa before he like jetted off, he said, "Let me handle them. I know that I'm the student, but I don't want my favorite teacher to who end up losing his eyesight because of it." As he was so dead serious that even Eraserhead understood what he's referring to. Okay? So, yeah. As he and Moo, who charged full speed in right at the or high-end villains, knocking them all unconscious or like knocking them out. They broke every bone in their bodies. as as before he charges into battle, Mina and the rest of them says he's crazy. As yeah, he was. Against thousands and thousands, or like the entire biggest group of high-end villains, he basically, yeah, he slaughtered them all. As only 3 people remaining is Kirigiri, Shiraki-sen, and the Nomu. Who, yeah, sorry. As Shiraki-sen told the Nomu to go attack a 3-way combo, or like 3 versus 1. Yeah. He ends up breaking Shiraki-sen's arm, both arms, so that he doesn't use his quirk anymore. And he already knows what to do. So he breaks the horn off, blood dripping down his face. And he stabs the Nomu right in the brain. Because, fun fact, did you know that you could, if you stab the brain part on the Nomu, like tear it to shreds, they die? It's like Achilles' heel. So yeah, and then Kirigiri was gonna warp the him, but Mumu, who dodged the attacks, and like he teleported, or he actually went full sprint, like head charged. Ernst, yeah, he went full head charge right to Kirigiri, dodging his portals, and go right behind him, and he chucked, like he grabs the horn, he threw the horn. It was enough to crack the, or he used it as a club, but he reached inside, grabs the plate that's on Kirigiri's neck, crushed it enough as Kirigiri falls. Yeah. So, yeah. As he takes a breather, as Mr. Aizawa has that face, he says, "Man, that boy really does have some grudges against the pro heroes." As he told as he walks to them really slowly, and they understand that it takes a lot to defeat those. As he, hope you guys don't mind me taking a nap, okay? As he literally tells them that. As Ochako, positive one, says, go right ahead. Or actually 13. As he he walks over on the outside of USJ. And yeah. He sits down, sleeping. Or until All Might and All for One All Might and Endeavor All Might and the Pro Hero shows up with the police and the hospital. As he so he's basically as Mr. Aizawa, before they took him away, not to the a prison. As Mr. Aizawa asked him that you said back there that the you didn't want me to lose my eyesight, and my favorite, or you also said I'm the favorite teacher. Yeah, that is actually true. Okay, because you've done a lot. So, as in his head, it reminds him of Cloud Boy, and how he's so positive. He never had negative in his body. Of course, as let's say after that, the next day, the Class 1A, you saw action, right? As that gray girl heard, or actually told him that one of the Class 1A students actually defended with his last breath, or actually with his breath, actually. I believe it was Moo, I think that's what his name is. As who got the attention of course, when she heard, she actually, she had that face. She couldn't believe that someone, and as she's thinking in her own head of, because she got, or when Moo got her attention, because they all talk about him. As, yeah. As he literally as yeah during the Lanone, everyone is talking about Moo Moo. Oh, how he took on the very, 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 very high class villains. Villains. In my opinion, he should put them in electric chairs. Take away their quirks and put them in electric chairs. So, yeah. As the Pedia got their noses in it, and yeah. But when he was walking, as he it was running a little bit behind schedule, or actually he came a little bit in the morning, as he starts walking through, as everyone knows that they don't want to end up in this kid's way, but they know who he is. As he transforms into a human, and Mr. Hizawa or actually he like literally had two pairs of apples, as he gave both of them to Racerhead and Music Mike. Okay? So, have fun. As, yeah. So, then yeah. As the Pedia they asked him so many questions about like All Might thing. He says, "Huh, good." As All Might was there, as he, or not there, but Moo is like, and let me remind you, All Might gave One for All to Zuko, so yeah. And then during the sports festival, I'm skipping the rest, but sports festival, Moo was against, or like he won in the races and the cavalry battle. You know, as yeah, as Cow Lady saw him, yeah, as yeah, she says in her head, "This must be the same, or this kid must be my son, abandoned son." But how did he? As she went through the her old photos as she looks at one that of a cow that's smaller than a can, like the size of a soda can. As she stared at it, as she looks at the TV, sees him, looks at it, and yeah. So she basically realized the kid that's in the at the sports festival is actually the same kid that is her son. It's her son that's yeah. And then the whole like hold on. Sorry about that. And yeah. He basically literally won against a cavalry battle. Now the fight one, it goes differently. The group or it stays the same, but the only difference is added is her against her own brother. Yeah. I was gonna say, or actually, let's change it to Mushroom Girl. Because why heck not? So yeah, she against him. Him. They literally made a dome for them so that the so yeah, Midnight was out there as he says ready. As he like trans or he does hand to hand combat. Yeah. Imagine as he and swipe her off her feet and sending her flying into a wall. Yeah. So, yeah. As before they took him, or before they took her away to Recover Girl, as he, his heart starts beating, like thumping, really. Like he literally he's in his own head he says to himself that I have feelings for that mushroom girl. As he walks away. Whoops. Yeah. So and yeah. The next round was between Bakugo versus Mumu, and that was done. That's so rageful. He threw Bakugo out of the ring. And I'm skipping the internships and the kill park during the raid arc, All for One versus All Might. All Might was down, but not out. The All for One was prepared to die. As the big beam of light was aimed right at him, but Mumu was faster. He blocked the attack. And he stops the attack. As he's literally holding the attack on his own head. And he's pushing it back with all of his willpower. As everyone that was saw what he's did. Yeah. So he basically did something. Sorry. He's basically literally here. Can you hear me now? Okay. So yeah. So he basically won in that round. He pushed the laser attack that was one-shotting pro heroes as he's holding it. As Cow Lady saw her own son and pushing the laser attack right back at All for One as he walks up to All for One. And man, do you want me to add some context for it? And or if you guys didn't eat dinner or breakfast, don't do it and because it was gruesome. He transformed into a minotaur, ripped All for One's body parts, grabs All for One's quirk, and smashes it with just one of his horns that he broke off. And yeah, there goes All for One. Yeah, it was so gruesome that his words were, "I am Mumu." It's yeah, that's his favorite catchphrase. As he walks over, transforms into a human, or back into his human form, as he helps All Might up. As it looked like he was covered in drench of blood. But everyone knows it's true. So yeah. So yeah. So he ends up doing that stuff. And he also when he stayed and helped, you know, everyone knew it was Moo Moo whose nose. So all the villains were like, oh, man, this kid's more powerful than All For One. And plus, All For One with that stupid laser attack is the situation. But then, yeah. So then, the cow lady was there. She walked over to her son, and like wanted to have a private conversation with him. As he says, sure. As he walks with her, as how do you feel? Or that farm that you've been raised on? Yeah. Of course, she tells him that she was, or the one that she was her adopted mom. As when she says that I'm your biological mom. Okay? Okay. She never had the grudges against you anyway, so kind of knew why. And she's like taken back by this. Because his brain is actually, he's smarter than, or he could hear when he was just a toddler. He heard every word perfectly. Clear as day. So, yeah. As she starts tearing up, she walks, or she walks over to him, gives him a hug. As, yeah. He trained with her a lot. So, yeah, so when she heard about her brother was actually the Moo Moo Sonotori, I don't know how to say that properly. Give me a moment.
Moo Moo Sunotori.
Yeah. So, as she runs up to her own brother and hugs him the very next day, as he apologizes for making like the head thing, like as he says, "Don't worry your little head. You're just fine." Yeah. Zuko, or as Yeah. So it was finally time for after like school thing, as she asked him to have a private conversation. And yeah, as when she tells him how much she feels about him after she heard that he actually took on all the high end villains by himself, she wanted to like date him so bad. As as he looks at her, as there's no comment, as she thought it was gonna be no, but then when he grabs her head and kissed, yeah, like he kissed her. Answer is actually yes. As she couldn't believe that, as actually she's now more in love with him than so they started dating each other's. Yeah. And yeah, so the after Class A versus Class B, the for Class A, he chose to go against or his own sister, as he tells her that there's nothing personal. Eh? As she understands it. And yeah, for Class B, you know what he goes with? He chose to be on Team 2, who, with the, or, yeah, Team 2 to be with his girlfriend. Yeah. So then after that, and then they got married. Or, so after school, like after they became pro heroes, they got married between him and his girlfriend. That, yeah, and she and him, of course, she was pregnant with his own child. He still hangs out with his parents, his sister and his mother, and yeah. So they basically end up, yeah, living happily ever after. So you're like, okay, this only took about